Hi, Doug Andrew here. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to our Three Dimensional Wealth newsletter. This is the inaugural edition, and we have titled this Three Dimensional Wealth Living. When you receive this, of course, it comes looking like this, but it unfolds, and this is jam packed with information based upon a particular theme every single month. And I'm really excited about this first edition because I am talking predominantly about the impact of family retreats and family vacations with a purpose. And not only family, but here at Three Dimensional Wealth, our company are all family. So this is also applicable to business retreats with a purpose. So, as you explore through the newsletter, there's going to be several different articles that we have written to talk about how to get away to come together as a family or maybe as a company. But also, I give you several examples of how we incorporate family retreats with a purpose for our family, our extended family, our grandchildren. And so I'm going to give you a little synopsis of these, and then you can read more. And of course, then you can explore more about it with a lot of the resources that we provide by being a subscriber to this newsletter, because there's all kinds of information that you can access as a bonus by being a subscriber to the newsletter. What this will do every month is sort of give you a reminder of some of the things that are available to you. Because if you're like me, I have to get a little reminder, jog myself every month on what I should be doing to bring my family together. So let's talk about why family retreats or vacations with a purpose are so important and why they have been life changing for our family and for our employees at our company. We have all kinds of different retreats. And so I'm going to explain three of them to you right now. And you can read about them in the newsletter. The first we have on a pretty regular basis, and it's our retreat to Maui. Now, my wife, Sherry, and I, we have been married now for 48 and a half years. We've been very blessed. You may be aware we have 6 children, and now we have 20 grandchildren. And so 32 years ago, my wife and I purchased a timeshare in Maui to be able to go there on a fixed week. It's the 8th week of the year, the last week in February, to celebrate our wedding anniversary. And this has become a tradition for us to be able to go to Maui. And frankly, we have never missed a February where we've been able to do that. Well, now we not only go there every year, but it's become a tradition for us to take our grandchildren who turned 8 years old during the previous 2 years with us to Maui. And we have a format where we teach our 8-year-old grandchildren about how to be responsible and accountable and so forth. And it is one of the favorite vacations, and the 8-year-olds look forward to it. And we're just about done now with our 20 grandchildren having that experience. We only have 2 more sets remaining. Now, what we did a few years after my wife and I got our annual timeshare is we bought timeshares in the basement from the management company for pennies on the dollar. And I explain how we did this in our book. We basically went in and said, who's behind on maintenance fees, on dues, on property taxes, whatever? Man, we got a list of like 30 people. And I said, so we would be a godsend to them if we brought their property taxes current or their dues current. Oh, yeah. Yeah. People will sell you their timeshare for $1. We did get one for $1. And so we ended up with 3 more timeshares, but they are only on the odd years. So we go to Maui on the odd years, and our family looks forward to it because they know 2 years in advance we're going to meet in Maui. Now, they're responsible to get themselves there, and now they're responsible to help pay for the lodging. Sometimes we don't need all the rooms in those 4 condos, and we rent out just one room on Airbnb, which pays for the maintenance fees for the entire unit. So these can actually be free as far as your outlay is concerned. But what do? We gather together in Maui and yeah, we scuba dive, bike, hike, golf, fish. We're not going there just to learn, but we gather in the mornings, usually for about 40 minutes as adults, and we talk adult talk. We have themes like moments that matter, or we have books that we read, and all of our children will take turns teaching a lesson or facilitating a discussion for 40 minutes with the adults. Usually, one of us is assigned to entertain the children or tell a story or have some kind of an activity. And we do that with all of the children for about 20 minutes, but that's just an hour in the morning. We usually exercise and do a lot of activities together, and we might disperse. Some may go surfing, others may go golfing. We gather together at 5 o'clock for dinner and we share I remember when memories. If you don't remember what those are, we all report memories and we have to come with them typed up on one sheet of paper. And we all come with three of them. And our family memory book gets this thick now because for years, every family member has been bringing three I remember when memories that they share at dinner. And every night, each family gets to take turns sharing I remember whens. Uh, we would not pass that up for anything. And then in the evening, we usually have a children's story. We put them to bed, and the adults have a conversation for another 40 minutes. But it's incredible. That's what we do in Maui. So there's all kinds of ideas and agendas that you can see and download that are here in the newsletter. Also, another favorite retreat we do is our campouts, and we go camping sometimes as a family where we live in Utah down at Arches at Grand Gulch Primitive Area, maybe Zion's or Bryce Canyon, Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, or what have you. But one of our favorite places is the Wind Rivers of Wyoming. Be sure and read about that. And when we go to the Wind Rivers, yeah, we four wheel. The journey in is almost half of the trip. The destination's incredible. We're at 9,500 feet and we catch between 200 to 300 brook trout that are 16 to 21 inches long in 3 days. And we have fish tacos to die for. But you know what is the greatest memories there are the evenings around the campfire, where the first night we go around and we talk about what matters most. And I have a worksheet where our children and grandchildren fill out what matters most, what's worth doing every year, every month, every week, every day, what's worth remembering, preserving, what's worth working for, sacrificing for, what's worth fighting for, what's worth dying for. And then we go around and share. It will be incredible when you do this. The next night, we do absolutely unacceptable regrets, how to avoid detours and dead ends. What are 5 absolutely unacceptable regrets you don't want to have at the end of the day? We write down 5 and why they would be regrets and what we're going to do to avoid them. And we go around and share around the campfire the second night. The third night, we do the R factor conversation, the opportunity breakthrough. The R factor stands for relationship. If we were sitting here a year from today, which we will be, looking back over that year, or maybe we'll choose a 3-year time frame, what has to have happened during the last 3 years, or which is going to be the next 3 years, for us to be happy with the progress we made in maybe up to 10 different relationships? Our relationship with God, our parents, our siblings, our children, our friends, our physical body, our work, our brain, our intellect, and so forth. What has to have happened? And then we go through the break, B.R.E.A.K. What are the barriers we need to overcome to make sure that comes to fruition? What are the resources, is the R, that we need to draw from? What are the experiences we need to have or draw from? What are the actions, that's the A, actions we need to take? And what knowledge, that's the K, that we need to obtain or draw from? We fill out the breakthrough worksheet, and the chance that you will achieve your goals, your vision for a brighter future, goes from about 55% up to over 90%. It's a huge payday for parents on that third night at our campouts. So those are some ideas for family campouts. And then, of course, our favorite retreat of the year now is our annual Grandpa's Camp. And you'll see some ideas for Grandpa's Camp. We have themes every year on how to be a possibility thinker, America, the land of liberty, put on the whole armor of God, let your light so shine. This year, it stands for truth, and we're talking about the Constitution, that America is an incredible land and why we need to preserve the Constitution of the United States and be law abiding citizens and be responsible and accountable. And so you probably have heard me talk about Grandpa's Camp. We now have the 12-year-olds and older come for the first 4 days. We do high adventure, rappel, hot ballooning, hot air ballooning, all kinds of things. And we talk teenage talk. And there are 12 things that we teach them on critical thinking and how to communicate effectively and so forth that unfortunately the colleges and universities are not effectively teaching our children today. Those 12 things are listed in my book, Entitlement Abolition. And we have worksheets that you can download on, like the Solution Formulator, the Better Life Circle, the Experience Transformer, the Goal Activator. These are tools that you can use, like on Grandpa's Camp. And I do that with the older teenagers for 4 days. And then we bring in the 4 to 11-year-olds. The 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds go with grandma in the cabin. And I take the 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, and we're in a camping environment. And all of them teach their cousins a lesson and conduct a hobby or activity in the morning, afternoon, and evening. They get to cook their own dinners. We have hikes, rappelling, four-wheeling. And then the parents finally come on the 7th day, and we have dinner and a camp out, and it's incredible. It's the favorite outing, according to my grandkids, every single year. So these are family retreats with a purpose, and that's why this month's newsletter, because of timing, being in the summer, talks about retreats with a purpose and some of the activities. You can also use these same exercises for business retreats with a purpose, do service projects, have goals, life games. There's all kinds of ideas to bring your employees together or your team where you work. So this is really about you and your brighter future. This is why I'm so excited about the monthly newsletter and why this month's inaugural theme is about how to conduct retreats with a purpose. So indulge, read, enjoy, look back at your copy of Entitlement Abolition. This is the book where we explain how to have family vacations with a purpose and Grandpa's Camp. There's also all kinds of tools and audio and video that you have access to by being a subscriber to the Three-Dimensional Wealth Living newsletter. So thank you again for engaging. We appreciate you so much, and we want your life to be balanced in all 3 dimensions. This is what it's all about.